On this episode of What Do You Do? I sit down with David Nunez, a beekeeper with Bee Wild Collective, an organization that prides themselves on sustainable beekeeping all throughout the Southern California region. Now, I will not lie, I had a lot of fear going into today's episode, but with some cajoling and a couple of bee suits, I was able to get in there and learn. So I hope that you enjoy, sit back, feel safe. You're home.
Yeah.
Christian, my man.
David.
After David introduced me to his friends, I had to get that number one question out of the way.
We get stung about 5-6 times a week.
Really?
For sure.
It doesn't even hurt anymore.
It does hurt. It does hurt.
We don't get the swelling as much anymore.
Yeah.
No.
But
Because you look like you might be in some. Are you in some pain over there?
that was the first time. My first bee sting, when I first started this, was in the eye.
Yeah.
That swelled up pretty good.
I got hit in the eyelid too
Yeah.
one time, and that was the first time that I really swelled up. But after that, nothing really happens anymore. I've gotten stung in the face in the most random spots. The most painful ones, fingertips.
So when you get stung, you're okay with it.
I'm okay with it. It always hurts. That's the truth. Over time, it does get better. It's all good. I'm definitely awake now, too. I will have to say, though, for the sake of the bees' lives, it's always wise to suit up because every time they sting you, they die. The idea also is to always work calmly, never rush. Figure out what the bees are doing. If you feel like they're getting mad or irritated, walk away from a moment. Come back to it. Let them settle in. All those things can help you not wear a suit and not get stung.
How did you get into beekeeping?
Well, my grandfather was a beekeeper in Mexico. When we used to live in Mexico, me and my brothers, we were big on finding honey out in the old hollow trees or in caves. So we would go in there and we just wanted our hands on that honey, even if it meant getting stung 100 times. We had no suits, so you had to find ways to protect yourself. We would get bundles of green vegetation and light it up in fire and use it as smoke.
And how old are you and your brother at this time?
I was maybe 6-7 years old.
So where are you taking us?
So we got a sacred mountain up here, Painted Cave area.
A painted cave.
Painted Cave area.
We were talking about the bees earlier and what would happen if they weren't around to pollinate. So right now this elder tree doesn't have any flowers, but when it does, the bees come by and pollinate it. And then we get the elderberry fruits. Without the bees coming to pollinate the flowers, we don't get elderberries, and then we can't make elderberry syrup. It means you don't get your medicine, you can't clear out your lungs. Yeah, the bees are essential for pollinating the medicine that they were dependent upon and that we still are.
We're about to open up those boxes full of bees. I'm terrified, but that's okay. They're everywhere.
Deep breaths.
Here we go. David, what is this?
So this is a smoker. We fill it up with some dry plant matter to create some smoke. It allows them to retreat into the box instead of focusing on us when we're up there. It tames them a little bit.
Okay.
The smoke hits the bees, they automatically assume it's fire. So they retreat into the hive, start gorging themselves with honey, so that in the events that they have to leave the hive due to fire, they'll have a full belly to keep them going for as long as possible.
Wow, okay.
That's it. That please do.
That's cool. It smells good though.
Yeah, and it's all the stuff that I gathered from there. This is what a hive tool looks like. This allows you to pry open boxes. Bees will really hunker down and get the box glued with what we call propolis. They seal in the box very well every time, and so we have to use these tools to pry them open. And then this is a brush, very gentle brush that you could use to wipe bees off frames. Bees are actually very resilient. They can take a swipe and be totally fine. This is one of our locations. We go from town to town and We have different accounts with different people, and so we take care of their beehives, maintenance, honey, harvesting the honey, making sure that your bees are doing well, all of that. You know, I think one's hanging out in my ear right here trying to get in, channeling.
Next, David breaks down his backyard beekeeping program by showing us this really cool thing called a flow hive.
So this is essentially the honey super. It consists of 6 frames, and then you release the honey from up here. So no filtration needed, just direct honey from the hives to your jar.
What affects the taste of the honey?
The differences are truly just the nectars in the flowers or in the trees. Orange blossom honey that comes from orange groves, because of the potency behind the citrus, it's a really tangy, strong honey. And then you have the wildflower that's a lot more subtle, more sweet. Honey like avocado that is very dark. It's more on the malty side. Well, the most medicinal honey would be Manuka honey. It's coming out of New Zealand where you find the Manuka plant. So we're gonna take this off to go deep down into the hive. Oh yeah, you can actually spray them a little bit right now. Just kind of making a move. There you go. Oh, there you go. All right. That's the QueenExcluder, and now we'll talk about what that does.
You're talking about this little thing on top?
Yeah.
The plastic thing.
So this prevents the queen from coming up and laying eggs onto the honey super. So we can keep that honey super only honey.
Okay. Okay.
So we'll go in here and identify the queen shortly, but as you can see, there's these gaps. So all the worker bees and some drones, well not drones, but the worker bees, they can go up to the top section to lay honey.
Right.
But we don't want the queen to go up to that chamber and start putting eggs where there's honey.
There's supposed
So
to be
we don't
honey.
want to mix those two. Right, so
And these are frames we're looking at here?
these
down
are
here?
frames,
Yeah.
yes.
You can smoke it a little bit. Perfect.
I think we're all out of smoke.
Let's see.
Wow, they're doing amazing.
And then this is what you don't want in there sometimes, a hive beetle. It's common, but you put these little traps, and there's a few that we've caught already in there. So that is to treat for pests. And hive beetles are not harmful, but they could get out of control sometimes. We got a few floating around in there. I'm knocking. I'm coming in, babies.
You're letting them
I'm
know?
letting them know. This is a sign, you know, just like if we'd like them to would you like someone to barge into your house?
Yeah, knock on the door first.
Knock on my door.
Knock on the door.
This is a drone. This is a male drone.
See how much bigger it is?
He's fat
Wow.
and plumpy. He's
Come
cleaning
on,
himself right now.
And that's how you know it's the drone, because
That's
it's
the
flat
drone.
and pumped.
See,
Yes.
there's the females right there, and that's him. So you can see how much bigger he is.
So that is a drone. They don't sting.
Oh, the drones don't sting.
They don't sting. Get some smoke going in here, Evan. We got some honey.
Wow. Wow.
Starting to erupt. We found the
Oh.
queen.
Oh, we found the queen.
Her
The
Majesty.
queen is right here.
Oh, I see it.
She is constantly moving. She's constantly being followed by other people.
Wow.
She doesn't sting either. But yeah, that's her. She often
Wow.
hides really well. But that is the queen bee right there, my man.
You see all that up there? That's honey. That honey is done. Looks amazing.
These I am, your friend.
Yeah, there you go. You're good.
Smoke me. You gotta smoke the sage and everything.
It's all good.
But it's really just a.
So they start from the top. They start building the comb from the top and they work their way down. some of these bees will go and they were forage fermented honey, and it gets them drunk, and they come back and they're not allowed in the hive by the guard bees. They gotta go sober up and come back.
Are you serious?
Yes. During the winter, all the males will get kicked out of the hive because they're kind of useless during that time. They eat a lot and they don't do anything. So the males get booted. Wow. Yes. The bees will go in there and extract these drones that are about to be born before they make it and push them out of the box and toss them out.
And they're all mating with this one bee, and then that one queen bee is having all these
Lays
bees?
1,000 eggs a day,
Yeah.
Oh my god.
at least.
You're going on in one of those boxes, they'll swarm out of there, and that's when she takes off. But before that happens,
There a bee or no?
You okay, bro?
Okay, sorry.
He's just,
No, you
he's
good.
behind you.
Paranoid. Oh, you're behind.
oh, he got you with this little
Yeah.
fluffy thing.
So after I got over my nerves, I was able to learn a valuable lesson.
If they go queenless, she'll lay an egg, and then they will start feeding that egg strictly royal jelly, and that's what makes a queen. All of them get fed royal jelly at a certain stage of their lives, but if you're constantly being fed royal jelly, you get turned into a queen.
I'm so humbled. It makes me think about what tribe I belong to or should belong to, or my role in community. And like, this is the way I think people are meant to live, where we have our roles, we have our duties. David, our lovely beekeeper, does all of that work so he can bring to the farmers markets. Today, I decided to visit him at the Hollywood Farmers Market on Sundays. Come join me. This is actually how I met David. I come here all the time, so let's go sneak up on him.
What's up, boy? What's happening? How you doing, man?
What would you, if you had to guess, what would you say? I'm just curious.
How many bees to get that container going?
Yeah.
20,000 bees.
Almost like
20,000, just a rough ballpark.
This rough ballpark, this is the work of about 20,000 bees.
Yes, possibly more.
Possibly more.
Possibly more.
Respect it.
Stinger is probably 5 times sharper than what a needle would look like. And it's got these two serrated prongs. Once it gets stuck, once it stings, you get stuck in there. So,
Well, let's go look at some bees. Let's go look at